pretty good team.
That was pretty.
What made that team so good, you two? Outside Clark again.
Clark over Horston, hits a three. Knows no bounds.
Horston's got to come with hands up. You can't let Clark see the rim.
Nice. Boy, Enrique gave it to McCowan, who couldn't finish. Behind the back again for Clark. Give her another assist and a chance for a three-point play for Smith.
In transition. Whoop. And a little spin on the finish as Melissa Smith went to the line and did in fact complete the three-point play.
Yeah, three behind the back Caitlin Clark passes.
The turnover ratio in her career last season. Clark gets away with a little push, fall away, buries it. And a little reaction for the crowd.
She's really, really good and savvy with the basketball in her hands and going left.
See, this is the small lineup I'm talking about with Caitlin Samuelson at the 4.
Clark bounce pass it, Smith again.
By Caitlin Clark to recognize two bigs, and Melissa Smith sees that she has a wide open lane to the bucket. Just a great delivery. I mean, putting it on the money for
Clark working on Van Loo. Oh, Clark, pretty step back, hits a three.
Got a little separation. Now watch Caitlin Clark get a little separation there. See, when the hand extends from the body, that is usually when they call an offensive foul.
Kimbrough, she will launch. Samuelson, nice pass there to Clark. Clark behind the back. Oh, it's Smith with the finish. Brilliance from Caitlin Clark.
If you run, this can happen. What a delivery. Clark behind the back to Smith. 2 points.
And now Clark comes up with a steal. Clark thought about pulling up from 3, will dip inside and lay it in. There are the first points in the WNBA career of Caitlin Clark.
To take it at the rim. Here, hesitation. You have to come out on her. It goes by. Her first 2.
Bonner gets denied by Boston. Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Look at Wheeler staring to the right side. Knows who's there. Drop pass behind. Could be the deepest shot we've seen Caitlin Clark make as a pro. Big one.
Round to Russell pick. Now to Horston. Gets a decent look. Can't get it to go. All of a sudden, that's 6 of 10. Not looking so hot anymore. And the baseball pass down court, shooting and with passing. Look at this.
This is a pass that not very many players can make from behind the free throw line on the money.
I would have loved to have seen Veronica Burton put the ball on the deck and attack the basket.
Oh, what a slick pass.
Drawing the foul, but Caitlin Clark just finding Aaliyah Boston diving to the basket for an easy 2.
Well, how about the fact Seattle had 11 wins all of last season? They're already at 10. Look at the tie last year's winning record.
Clark from way downtown and knocks it down. Caitlin Clark.
Clark off the switch, found Smith, who laid it in. That is now 13 assists.
This is now the 5th straight game for the Fever with 40 or more points in the paint. That would be basket 44, courtesy of Caitlin Clark's 13th assist, just reading the defense so well.
Howard blocked by Boston. Here comes Caitlin. Get it! Count it for Clark.
These last 2 whistles for me are very questionable. I love the speed of Caitlin Clark, the push. All right, stripped to the free throw line. One thing, though, that we did have an opportunity to chat with the Fever this morning, with Clark and with Coach Sides. We asked them, what would you say are your knee injury?
And that's the way to push the ball in transition. Oh, that's not going to waste much time. Caitlin Clark has her second three-pointer.
Has started out 2 for 3 from 3. And creating a little space for herself. That's how she got that.
Here is Clark. She will launch and bury a three.
Because they do have a smaller backcourt, but they're quick. When she gets her feet set, I mean, that's why I carry my tape measure around, Pat. Sometimes
Shots.
45 blocks last year. Clark for three. Clark, they said she has redefined what a good shot is. Look how far out she was.
Of that run to the finals before the Liberty fell to the Aces in 4 games. Clark connects on a three.
Caitlin Clark here gets the switch on the screen. Smaller Vandersloot defending her. Easier to see over Courtney Vandersloot than
Now realizes it. Clark trying to take her defender. Pulls up and hits from the mid-range. 20 points for Caitlin Clark. Effective.
a really good feel for when she should take a defender based on who it is. And that time going to her left.
The magnifying glass and the pressure as Bonner can't hit. Fagbenle the rebound. Here comes Clark. Bouncing to Fagbenle, who lays it in.
Fever fans to be excited about not only tonight but this season. Watch this connection one more time.
After a rough start. Clark, a little bit of daylight.
This is that inbounds play. Caitlin to Aaliyah Boston. And Aaliyah Boston sets a great screen. It's a slight flare, but just enough space.
Clark, as we mentioned, only 3 points in the second half. She had 13 in the first half, but has picked up a triple-double here today and gets the end one.
Clark hasn't shot the best in the second half, and this is just a great job. Little hesitation, change of speed that gets her.
Everything but the bucket that time from Phoenix.
good job by Cunningham to quickly get on Clark.
Clark sinks the screen and got the layup and one.
Always going to be trailing on this. Watch right here. This is Jail. Great screen by Boston. She holds the contact, and there's no catching up. And if you pinch off the strong side, she's kicking it for a three. It's a great decision.
13 assists for Clark. Boston has 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists herself. Clark, a bomb is good. A logo three. And then a shrug and a stare from Caitlin Clark.
Deep threes.
She has done throughout her career at multiple levels. Tina Charles just had 2 points against Indiana in their last possession, but Caitlin Clark, for a second. Yeah, take a look here in the corner, little Lexi Hull with the toss back to Caitlin Clark.
Clark has space, she's gonna let it fly, and she's gonna connect! Oh, Caitlin Clark. Step back, get your feet together, rotation. The Caitlin Clark effect.
Atlanta opened up red hot. They've been ice cold since that first quarter. Clark way outside. You bet!
Clark, this one was just a little bit more in rhythm. It wasn't forced. A really nice find across court from Grace Berger. Caitlin Clark able to perfectly set those feet, and that was can they defend and stop other players from other teams from scoring.
Well, last year Indiana was 10th in pace. Christy Sides telling us Clark rattles her second three. Here it is again, Cheryl.
I mean, she's just so crafty with it.
This game, the pace of this game, I'm not quite sure who it's benefiting. I guess we have to say the Wings right now because they're up.
Clark turned the corner.
But then again, here comes the Fever using the same prescription. Caitlin Clark has been able to be ball dominant the last few possessions, and she's gotten to the rim. She's had both looks to score and been able to pass the ball out to open shooters.
Candy at the three. Boston the rebound, getting her first minutes. Clark the flick ahead. Oh, what a dime from Clark. And Jones lays it in. A gorgeous pass from Caitlin Clark.
And this is one of the things that makes Caitlin Clark elite at the very top in terms of players.
That's putting up some buckets.
It sure was. Top 4 scorers at the college level here in this one as Caitlin Clark, and now back-to-back buckets.
Here's Clark with it. Fagbenle inside against the taller Mercedes Russell and still gets it to go.
is so tough. Plays as many minutes as anybody. Has been so good in her career, usually at taking contact.
She has that one foul, knows it's important not to pick up the second because she got 2 in the first quarter against Connecticut.
Clark connects on a 3.
She needs to be aggressive on the offensive end, and anytime her defender, Carrington, gets caught up on a screen, and a nice one by Aaliyah Boston on that possession.
Back Bentley. Here's Clark, a good look from 3. She got it! The first 3 in the career of Caitlin Clark.
But Caitlin Clark does not need much space here. The screen comes off, drains a 3. That's one of the few good looks, and it's not even that great of a look that she's gotten here so far in this.
She's got to figure out what else she has in that arsenal and that toolkit to get past some of these great defenders that are sometimes going to be 6'3", 6'4".
Oh, slick pass from Clark on the inside.
Shot, but she's one of the best assist women in the WNBA. Looking forward to seeing her the rest of the season.
We got a time. That's what Krista Gerlich told me about you at Texas Tech. They wanted the offensive foul. Not going to get it. Caitlin Clark.
A little later, the season's a bit more condensed. Good turnover for rookies like Clark, and she weaves her way inside, cutting the foul.
Translate to the WNBA, I think Caitlin Clark just answered that a little bit, weaving through not 1, not 2, 4 defenders protecting the ball.
Here's Clark thinking about a bomb, the hesitation, the take, the lead. Reese the lay. Clark to Reese. What you've been waiting for.
Forward to the rookie connection. Caitlin Clark to Angel Reese.
Here's just 1 of 5.
How about back? Bidley running the floor there. And the find there from Clark.
Clark head up as always. Just run with it and finish it. Head on a swivel. Or just close more quickly.
Clark zips it in. In fact, Bentley finishes. What a dart from Caitlin Clark.
Slips the screen, like beautifully delivered. We talk about
Levish hounding Clark. Clark, step back 3, knocks it down. Take a look here at a career first.
Just step back, going right, I may add. It's usually step back, going left.
Mitchell, guarded by Harris. Mitchell spinning, finding Clark. 5 to shoot. Clark lays it in. Tie game.
Caitlin Clark, just a nice drive. She's navigated that well tonight. And we saw it against New York as well, knowing when to look for the 3, but not to settle.
Clark off the screen, finds some space, and there's a 3. Late in the second quarter, here's the first 3 of the night. And in this building for Caitlin.
Here's Clark, nice find. Agumake push shot, banks in. Make it 8 assists for Caitlin Clark.
All-star team coming out. The pocket pass, screen, roll, drop it down. Nneka Amo.
Clark. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, Caitlin Clark, one thing she got is handles. Finds her way to the rim.
John Cole Jones had the final say. First lead for the Liberty that didn't last long as Smith puts the Fever back on top. The Indiana Fever.
And they need Smith in the game, and this is just a simple transition bucket.
They have the ability to change the rhythm of the game with their offense and with their defense.
Clark to Boston, who rolls it in.
And one other thing, if Caitlin Clark gets going, she's one of the few players that has the ability to turn your own building against you. Griner has it come off. Clark with the pull. Boston with a nice rim run.
A locked-in face.
Locked-in face.
Clark a deep 3.
You bet.
Kumbawale. To McCowan, and now it's 10. Caitlin bottled up, but it doesn't matter.
For the reasoning behind her assists, which have been in the double-digit range here for 4 straight. Clark bouncing. There's Mitchell. Give her 6 assists in less than 7 minutes.
It's almost like they know exactly.
NCAA ranks. We've got some score power on the court.
Watch that inside hand, that left hand. Caitlin Clark gets away with a little shove inside, creates that space.
Katie Lou Samuelson can't hit the long 2. It stays here with Indiana. Clark, a deep one. You bet! A Brooklyn logo bomb from Caitlin Clark.
It's our most efficient, best performance in terms of shooting the basketball.
That shot won't fall from Haley Jones. Indiana has a chance to take the lead. Alyssa Smith, outlet pass, it's Clark.
Just no space. Connecticut everywhere. Here's Clark with Banham guarding her. Clark gets bumped, will take, and hit from 3. Clark up to 18 points.
Saw her here, Rachel Banham on her, and Caitlin Clark loves going left, loves the step back. Feels like here, I mean, just for that reason, they're too deadly from behind the arc.
An 11-0 run for New York. Clark, she got another. Second 3 of the quarter for Caitlin Clark.
Season her in the history of the league, you might want to get out on her, and then Caitlin, wow, that was a really good contest.
Connecticut, an early 9-point lead. Clark, a 3. It is good. Second 3 of the quarter for Caitlin Clark.
And Caitlin Clark, one of the rare times this season we've seen her get open. Dejanay Carrington just looking at the ball.
Here's Clark. Trying to wheel into some space, gives it up. Zach Benley lays it in. 4th assist for Clark.
Always with her head up here, navigating, sees that 2 defenders are bouncing around beautiful, because it looked like she was going to take the shot. Last second hits.
Absolutely blown the roof off.
But playing at UConn, she is used to all of this. Oh, Caitlin Clark, rookie on rookie crime right there in Mule's face.
Probing, drags out Nelson Adota. Clark will fire and hit the 3. Caitlin Clark with her 3rd 3 of the night as her parents celebrate. And the Las Vegas Aces. Caitlin Clark knows what to do with a big.
When you got a big, what do? If you're Caitlin Clark, you shoot on them.
Tina Charles off the bench, going to be a lot of their core and how they find success this year. And there's Samuelson lining up a 3.
Carrington all over her. Clark eyes up. Bounces to Boston. Boston one-on-one with Jones, will flip it in with 16 points. She's played terrific defense as well. Here's Clark off a screen, gets a look, and hits.
But then on the offensive end, I mean, that's a great contest by Carrington. She goes over the screen, she contests.
It is Caitlin Clark able to clear for Indiana.
Caitlin coming off that 20-point performance right here, handling the physicality of Benijah Laney. The physicality with which Caitlin Clark handles right here. She crosses sides of the floor, she gets her hips and shoulders past Laney, and she leans in.
Clark has played every second of this game. Chelsea Mitchell.
We ran into them in the NCAA tournament. And I was like, what do they feed the players in Texas? Well, what are they feeding Caitlin Clark? Because there we go with another behind the back and fancy finish. Caitlin Clark pushing the pace, change of direction subtly.
Xander Lucini, some good length on the perimeter on Caitlin. That is a tough pass. Wow. And somehow she got it in.
And look, there is no question that the paint is a completely different story as Clark just went right by her former teammates and laid it in. She's got 20.
Man, talk about
exactly what Christy Sides warned against after that big win on Saturday, not having a letdown. Still a long way to go here as Clark feeds it into Wheeler for the buckets.
Definitely a miscommunication, and recognize Shatori Walker-Kimbrough has no idea right here where Erica Wheeler is. It's a great backdoor. I guess he determined that Ariel Atkins had possession.
Clark the switch on to Dolson, steps back and buries a triple.
Steph Dolson's in drop coverage, and the screen is so good.
Channel defense by the Sparks fans. 6 on the shot clock. Clark, a deep 3.
Oop, that is!
She missed her first 7 and knocks that one down, and it's a big one. This is what they came for.
Oh my goodness, it never gets old.
As Clark airballs the three, Smith keeps it alive. Clark with the shot clock fading, great look, and Smith lays it in.
Beautiful. And then Caitlin Clark here, this could be jail, and instead she delivers the pass.
Clark with the ball in her hands. Another perfect pass to Boston, who waited for Howard to get out of the way.
Obviously wanting this team to be keenly aware of the screening action in this Fever offense.
Got to look there at Christie's sides, like Coach Trammell in her second year. And there's Nalissa Smith finishing.
Has excelled over what we'll call the much improved productivity in the back 12 of their games. Part of it is what you see there.
Caitlin hit it.
Clark finding her way, pushing in transition, leading her way, pulling up, and knocking down.
Clark working on Cunningham, gets inside. Clark gets it to go. And the foul. Easy double digits.
Near the three-point line. And that's way too late with a caliber player like herself.
Just a few shifts, a downshift there, the deceleration and the finish at the rim.
Clark goes behind her back to get by Odyssey Sims, and that electrifies the crowd.
Good matchup, but wait a minute, hold up. Oh my goodness. And all right.
They called it on Howard, her second. If anything, I thought maybe Kalani Brown might have been whistled for something.
Yeah, I didn't see that call at all.
Caitlin Clark.
3 and some change left to play here in the first quarter. Caitlin Clark pulls it back, knocks it down. Her third 3 of the quarter.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you're going at Stewart. And how about this for another creation of her shot? And
18-5 run here for the Mystics after the Fever rattle off the first 5. Clark trying to answer, and does with a 3.
Well, that'll get you back in it quickly.
What a pass. And Wallace.
The great pass from Caitlin Clark, head up, just the velocity, catch it, put it in.
Caitlin got out.
Oh, Jewel Lloyd misses after a tremendous move, and we are tied right now. Clark to Samuelson, and there is, believe it or not, folks, the biggest lead of the game.
Today with plantar fasciitis, but her team is beating Indiana, and that's exactly what the Fever needed to start the fourth. Second was just called.
So Caitlin Clark, as we get a look at this one, off the ball, 2 Lynx players contest.
her ability to have great footwork is so fun to watch.
Still loose on the floor. Mitchell's been really active defensively tonight. And Clark launches for Mitchell. She gets rewarded.
And right here, lefty hit the left-handed layup.
Caitlin Clark, 13 points, pocket pass to Aaliyah Boston. Those two keep getting better and better together.
Felt like she took some contact there from Griner, doesn't get the call. Clark working the baseline, it knocked off the underside of the backboard, did a nice job to recover, and bounces inside, pretty fine to Mitchell.
Man, you know what? They usually tell you not.
The Indiana Fever having to take the ball out of the net a lot more here in this third than we saw in the first half, and that's affected their pace. Clark outside, and that's good. Is able to keep the dribble alive, uses a little push off to create space on aerial powers, no call there.
And she knows how to use her body and get to her spots of being able to affect that defense.
Clark is coming off the masterful night and starts us off strong here from Indianapolis with a 3 ball.
Man, just poised. She knows when the screen is coming. She waits, she sets up.
Indiana's got it done inside the arc. Here is Clark with some space. Clark behind the back. Oh, showing off the moves. It's Boston, and it's too easy.
Boston, who also has a 15-5-5 game today. Here's Clark, catch, fire, and connect. three of the game for Clark.
Lower game so far from Caitlin Clark today. 13 assists and a couple of these.
But this is the intensity on defense that has started this run for Atlanta. The help side's got to be there.
How about the finish at the other end for Clark?
Right here, Aerial Powers really pressing up on Clark, but Clark's got some speed off of the bounce, and help defense does not get there in time to impact it. Look at Caitlin Clark getting her shoulders past the defense, and that's the straight line drive.
But they're not going to do that, and with Noelle Quinn, as you mentioned, no challenge.
Clark, three ball in the way, and good. Boy, that cost Seattle 3 points, and they should have never had the ball there.
Clark gets a screen from Boston. There's the pick and roll, and easy. Look.
Indiana has to play if they're going to pull the upset here. Watch this screen, and then a nice pocket pass.
First year with the Liberty and the WNBA. Phoebish, the rookie, defending the other rookie. Caitlin Clark.
And Leonie Phoebish is known for a very versatile, long defender.
Clark draws two, whips it to Boston. Right back to Clark. Oh, good two-player action, and Boston cashes in.
If you watched Indiana's first game against Connecticut in the two-man game, Aaliyah Boston wasn't rolling to that spot. Kate from all over the floor.
Clark penetrating. A quick 5 points.
That's a good job. Christy Sides told us we have got to find a body on Reese.
Clark gets freed up from up top.
For Clark as well, and you see this screen, on-ball screen, and just...
It's been the second and third quarter that's been the issue for the Liberty, so let's see if they can have a better one here today as Clark finally hits her first shot of the night. Phoenix on Wednesday.
One thing about Caitlin Clark, she's relentless. She's going to keep shooting that ball. She'll keep moving without it. This is all tiring. She's got the ball in her hands.
She's really good interior passing, but Indiana's got to stop letting the ball get into the paint. They've got to keep it out.
Clark, step back, hits a three.
Caitlin Clark doing a great job creating separation off the bounce. The hard drive, and then she puts it in reverse.
12 points in the game. Allen gets blocked. Fever looking for numbers. Clark to Wallace. Back to Clark. Shovel pass Boston.
Look at that.
There's Copper from the corner. A good portion of her threes come from above the break. Here's Clark, still trying to find her rhythm. A deep pull, got it. Smith at the line for two.
Watch the range right here, Jonesy. They're coming off the screen. Allen goes under.
We talked to Caitlin earlier today, and she talked about how that chemistry is getting so much better. And is there any better passer right now from the backcourt than Caitlin Clark?
Indiana has numbers here. Clark looks to take advantage. Clark launches and hits a three.
Push. Everyone runs. You run hard. Look at all that space.
Now a 17-point deficit. Shot clock is off. The Fever can play for the final possession. Nobody picks up Clark, so she takes it in and lays it in. It's an and one for Caitlin Clark, who's putting together a first-half masterpiece.
Kelsey Mitchell sprints up for the guard-to-guard screen. And if they don't switch on her quick, Caitlin Clark is good enough to make you pay.
Clark trying to shake free Mabry all over. Here is Clark. Clark separating, taking, and hitting. Caitlin Clark with a difficult look from deep.
Indiana's going to have to try to win this a second time here after that brilliant first half. Oh, Clark, beautiful feed, and there's Boston.
So this play right here, she comes off the elbow. Coffee switches on, and then that escape dribble.
Had an open look from three, didn't take it. Only three to shoot. Gonna have to make something happen. Clark through the lane, reverses it in, and beats the shot clock.
It looked like Caitlin had an opportunity to take the shot, instead drives in, and good job here after the travel to turn her back and shoulder.
You can still establish yourself as a leader, as a future leader for the franchise. And that takes a little bit of perspective. And Caitlin Clark, she's going to get so much attention that she can find players cutting and moving. And Kelsey Mitchell absolutely is deserving of all of that attention. Good read to go.
Hamby had a clear out.
Giroux turns, ducks in. Fagbenle stays with her. Blocked from behind. That was Clark. Now Clark looking to push. Cross-court pass. Bull back to Clark. She will launch and bury a three. Run to open up the second quarter, and Clark doing it with some defense. Comes up with the block, and then Lexi Hull finds her. Fever back within 4.
Is it underrated?
Everybody talks about the logo threes.
Yeah, they do. Nice concept, good execution.
As Lainey Hamilton has been to Caitlin Clark all night tonight.
Are you talking about my high school experience? Clark connects on a deep three. Going back and forth.
The young one here, Caitlin Clark, just dancing with the basketball, going to her left, stepping into it.
Indiana outscore Dallas in the paint 16-4. Timing, well timed by Caitlin Clark. Now the passing, great screen.
Indiana trying to look inside. Going through this zone, cross-court pass, Clark to Mitchell. Big three for Indiana, and it's Clark's 13 assists. This is the franchise record tire.
Clark with the board.
Diana Taurasi has 48 triples coming into the game.
Logo! Clark with a deep three.
The basketball from deeper in this league right now.
3 minutes left to play in this one, and the hill is steep. 12 points. The Fever looking to erase. Here's Clark, catch and shoot. Hits a three!
Clark stepping back and hits a three from way outside. It's Caitlin Clark.
Great job reading the defense. Her hands were up.
Clark isn't the only rookie in the building trying to make her presence felt.
Oh boy. Perfect.
Assist 16.
The team shot it well from out there here tonight. Both under 30% from three. Clark bouncing, Boston charging to the rim and finishing.
But being able to make this game look as easy as it is very difficult.
Clark launches, nails it.
She's up there with rebounds, up there with steals. And she'll take the first three-pointer and knock it down and treat the fans to that. Been getting Indiana going.
Well, I think from the start you saw that they were just ready. Really good screen by Nia Coffey, and that's something that Nia Coffey does well every time down the floor. It tries to help the continuity of the offense.
Caitlin Clark on the board with a logo three.
And as Caitlin Clark off of some screening action there by Alyssa Smith gets an open three-point shot.
For Indiana, you're expecting maybe an initial surge. Clark on the drive, gets to the rim and the finish.
Really great read by Caitlin. Acceleration by Clark right here. She comes into this action and then sees a wide open lane. What a nice finish.
All is trying to clear 8. Shot clock down to 9. Here as Clark gets inside, the scoop shot falls. Indiana's scoring has done it from the three-point line, has gotten to the rim, and she'll head to the foul line here momentarily.
You're taking on that.
Connecticut, second last in the league in three-point percentage, just under 29%. Clark heaves and rattles one in. Back and forth they go from deep. A gauntlet to begin her career.
No shot is too far away from the rim for Caitlin Clark. Carrington gets caught underneath the screen from Boston.
Could have held for one, did not, but able to hit. Here's the flick ahead, and Alyssa Smith lays it in on the delivery from Clark.
Christine, a little bit earlier, I asked Diana, what was your playing weight at UConn? She said 180. I said, what's your playing weight now? She said 155.
Well, there were a few factors that. Well, as you mentioned earlier, Mark, Caitlin
Clark being picked up by Clarendon. Break there to help. Nice pass back to Benley. How did she find her?
That's where one guard is just a lot stronger than the other because of her experience and maturity.
Nice look from Clark, and Smith lays it home. So you have 2 assists and a bucket on the first 3 possessions.
Quarter we have seen Caitlin Clark play, showing what made her such a...
2 for 1.
Clark, bounce pass. There's Boston.
They've scored on 6 of their 8 possessions this quarter. Caitlin Clark to Smith. A rocket of a pass.
Off that drag, she is money.
Cloud missing that 3 ball. And they can get to within 1 or tie it on a 3. Boston underneath. And it's a 1-point game. They have come almost all the way back to basketball.
Look at the vision. Eyes to the rim.
In terms of holding on to the basketball.
The Fever with the ball. Clark passed up the long 3. Into Boston. Give the assist to Clark with the Boston finish.
This is where Caitlin Clark wants to play faster. Oh, she finds a cutting Boston, and the vision from Clark. She's got 5 assists in just over 5 minutes. Well, she's had everything going here in the first quarter.
Now Clark trying to make something happen. Behind the back. Backs the basket and gets her first field goal in style.
Curling is a Guma kick. Going right off the window, no good there. We've seen a couple of bunnies on both sides missed thus far. Clark now over the top. Another nice pass, and this one is converted. You just see the touch by the rookie.
Mentioned 7 lead changes, 10 ties. Largest lead for either team has been 7. Clark with the kick out to Samuelson. At the end of the quarter, knocks it down. Birthday against Atlanta on Thursday. She's got 3 threes in this first half.
And you see how Clark draws the 2 players, and that's why she works hard and does her work early before the ball gets inside.
Cheyenne Parker married in the offseason. Clark catch and shoot, hits a 3.
The screen, setting up aerial power. She's coming off a pin down. An excellent screen by Nalissa Smith. She takes a piece of Powers off the play.
Wheeler, Clark launches, hits a 3.
With Mia Coffey getting the assignment in the second half. Boston, beautiful dive to the rim.
Trying to find some space, goes reverse style. Her first bucket since 5:51 in the first.
Maintaining her dribble here is what's key, and not being sped up. She just keeps dribbling. She uses that other side of the rim as
Isolation here for Mitchell. Clark, another one. Caitlin Clark right here. She's gonna just rise up and stick it. It's catch and shoot, and she's not.
To the Commissioner's Cup final. What a dish. Down the floor. Wallace, the finish plus the foul. On a beautiful delivery from Clark.
For Caitlin Clark's game. The deep 3 is one, and the get-ahead pass is another. Oftentimes, it's to her.
Maybe big 3s and D.
We can come up with something. We'll workshop it.
We're workshopping it.
Kelsey Mitchell lays it up and in there.
And she's a big fan of the Crustable pregame, Pat. You gotta love the Crustable peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, look at Nalissa Smith running the floor. And it's been the Nalissa Smith show here in the first quarter.
Another great pass because Nalissa Smith ahead of the basketball. Look how hard she's.
Now the Fever have 5 on 4. It's Clark way outside. Boston the rebound. Clark on the fake. Clark weaves inside and the reverse. It's been a lot of Caitlin Clark. A steal and a bucket. This time finding her way around.
Gustafson, too much. Long rebound to the Fever. Oh, back Finlay says, don't wait.
Transition defense. So when Caitlin goes off the ball, typically she comes off a stagger on the weak side. But she comes off a pin down here, wide open. Bang!
Here's Clark.
picked up now by Dee Richards as she's into the ball game. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back three just below the logo, drills it.
She's a rookie, and she's 22 years old, the same as her jersey, but those heels were right at the logo.
Good stuff.
She's needed a game like this. Her last four, shooting 29% from three, gets blocked by Clark.
At the top, so you love to see that DMV showing up, showing out.
Clark, an absolute.
Watch how Caitlin Clark serpentines her way for this catch and release from three. Easy.
gets her own miss. Someone forgot about Smith. Someone forgot about Smith.
Tough finish with the shot clock winding down. And where is the defense?
So the best thing you can do as a defender is not give it to him.
Clark. Back-to-back triples for Caitlin Clark.
Washington has.
Did not hit a three in the first quarter, the Mystics. Clark way downtown, knocks down a three. Did not hit a three in the first quarter, the Mystics. Clark way downtown, knocks down a three.
In the slot, off a pin down, feet under her shoulders, and launch.
Clark from the blind side, the steal and a bucket. Indiana on an 18-3 run as Clark directs traffic. Clark lobbing it in, what a find, and Boston the finish. A delectable dime from Caitlin Clark. Hines Allen will launch and miss on a three ball. Mystics have opened up 0-4 from the floor. Clark, good feed inside, it's Samuelson.
Basketball by Katie Lou Samuelson, and Caitlin on a dime right there.
This will be their third. Caitlin Clark asks for the ball, and that's why.
Clark with the basketball. 9 total points in the game, steps it back from 3, knocks it down. Caitlin Clark's second deep shot.
Clark, pull up 3, at 1. Caitlin Clark was most recently named Rookie of the Month in the WNBA. The confidence personified by the youngster. Not afraid of the moment.
Around women's basketball, they understand their impact and what it has done and how they are living out their dreams today.
And right on cue, Clark connects on another bomb.
Clark's career high, her jersey number. It's 22 points. She's closing in on it. Give and go with Boston. Clark, kick out. Here's Mitchell. You bets.
Watch these plays right here. Good basket cut, and then instead of trying to challenge against the shot blocker inside, she kicks it to Mitchell.
They're such good athletic specimens, and I think it's so much fun to see like how Megan Gustafson has recreated her body. She changed herself from a post in college to being a power forward in the WNBA. It's amazing how that they...
Brink lobbing it inside. Hamby denied. It's 22, Caitlin Clark.
Good help from the weak side. That's what I'm talking about. Don't
Had Mitchell right there, did not see her. Mitchell was wide open on the wing. Here's Smith, the floater is good off the dime from Clark.
Harrington off the mark as Clark steps into a three and knocks it down.
Good job by the Dream getting back in transition defense because that's where Kelsey Mitchell likes to strike.
Wallace left alone, and another triple goes down for Indiana.
Here's Clark pedaling it forward. Clark dipping in, finds Boston beautifully for the finish.
They've scored 10 points off of 6 Fever turnovers, so that's really the difference in the game right now. Clark leaning and hitting. Wow.
And all of them are above the break except for one corner triple. Averaging almost 3 per game.
Indiana, at least in the fourth quarter, an 8-3 rebounding advantage. Clark pulls, fires, hits, 4-3.
Caitlin Clark has let the game come to her today. She hasn't been forcing things, and this is not an easy shot going to her left.
She wasn't going to be able to see Katie Lou after last night's game, so today, really the first time they're seeing her.
Clark, out of the inbounds. Wow, why can't I giggle?
Look at this beautiful step back. Caitlin Clark yet again rising.
Defensive board or a turnover and push pace the other way. First in the league in fast break points.
Clark connects on a deep three.
Finlay, I love it. Pretty with the finish. There's been many times early in this season where that has not been the case and have allowed too much dribble penetration.
Well, and it allows them, oh, what a dime. My goodness, the pass from Clark to Katie Lou Samuelson.
Meg McDonald, Chrissy Winter-Scott, Megan McPeak with you here. Clark pulls off that screen, knocks it down. Even with her body fading, she can still control that shot.
Open in the corner of her eye, she knocked it down.
Caitlin Clark scoreless. It's 5:51 left in the first quarter, and she post feeds Aaliyah Boston. Clark's got 14 blocks in her WNBA career, and it ends with a Boston bucket.
Can't hit on three. She's got 9, 8, and 5 right now. Clark with the step back deep two. Money.
Well, that takes care of one category.
It's not the most inviting carpet. Nice look. Wallace gets free, waits, and lays it in. Off another dime from Caitlin Clark. Her 7th assist. Now Mitchell on the steal.
Nice shot there for Rebecca Allen. Also played Christy Wallace on Team Australia. But this Indiana offense is playing with some serious pace. And Clark has 7 assists in the first quarter.
It takes 3 members of the national team to secure the rebound. Knocked away by Clark. Here's Clark ahead of the field. Caitlin Clark has her first All-Star point.
Sabrina Ionescu, one of the best three-point shooters, set all kinds of three-point records last year. Here's Caitlin Clark driving. She's got the first 5 points.
Wow, Hamilton was on her, still knocked it down, but that opens up her penetration game.
Clark, 6 to shoot, backing down. Clark leans in and banks it home. An astute and composed take there from Caitlin Clark.
Hamby had a clear out.
Giroux turns, ducks in. In fact, Benlay stays with her. Blocked from behind. That was Clark. Now Clark looking to push. Cross-court pass. Pull. Back to Clark. She will launch and bury a 3. Sabrina had this crowd on a string at Barclays as Clark able to bank it in on the drive.
Really?
It's about being confident in who you are and your ability, and it's not about your competition, who you're playing. It's about being confident in who you are.
Caitlin Clark with pull-ups got 16.
Caitlin coming off of a screen, give her just an inch. She just needs to find a way to get a little bit of space.
Here's Clark turning the corner, lays it in. 10 points in the first for Caitlin Clark.
And you'll see it here, Aaliyah Boston just right there. Enough space, forces the switch. Jonquil Jones a really good rim protector, but Caitlin gets
points of 9 of 13 shooting.
And 12 assists now for Seattle.
Clark answers, and that is the first triple of the game.
Here's Clark. Here comes Sabali. Clark drags her out, races in. Clark will lay it home. 22 points.
Sprinkle a little zone in. This is the Atlanta team has the worst field goal percentage in the league. Good coaching move.
Clark turns the corner and gets to the rim. D and Gainbridge down there might be worn out by the end of the year. She's had a couple shots from the Gainbridge Fieldhouse logo. Here's Clark on the drive and the finish.
Turning the corner right here, doing a good job of attacking off the that screen. It is a straight line drive. She gets it high off the glass.
Clark looking for a screen, didn't get one. Now Will from Boston splits the double team. She'll flip it up with the right hand and score. Caitlin Clark with 5 first quarter points.
The only person shooting better from the 3 by percentage than her teammate Kayla McBride.
Clark takes it right to Courtney Williams. We can expect to see different people try to defend her. All-Star game coming your way on Saturday. Both teams shooting at least 50% after 3 quarters. Oh, Caitlin.
Beautiful. Another really well-executed play. Good job of moving her feet, but it's her lower body that makes the contact. But then here's the screen, right? The flare and then the...
Clark left alone. Bad idea.
I don't know where the defense is. Sprint back, then turn and find. And give credit to Caitlin Clark, where she just stays on the attack in the open floor.
And another turnover, and Clark beats the pack back.
In studio.
What's up, Ari? Welcome to the studio, girl.
Caitlin, off glass.
Had to get by playing together. You will hear all of these Fever players talk about the flow that they're developing.
Caitlin gives
Again, keeping her dribble alive. We saw this a lot in the first quarter. This time,
Tyus, and then now Tina Charles as well. That is a lot of size and strength and experience on the interior.
Clark on the drive, gets inside, and there's her first bucket in this building. It is so enticing for Fever fans, for WNBA fans, how they open up.
Told us the other day, I know I'm going to get grabbed, I'm going to get chucked. Backdoors, Clark lays it in as she loses Lainey Hamilton. Clark and Lainey Hamilton getting into it a little bit verbally.
Just a great cut backdoor by Caitlin Clark.
To be disciplined, just 2 personal fouls here through 3 quarters. Dejanay has taken a new step.
Clark lays it in, the little hesitation works.
We've seen Caitlin Clark have success doing this a few times here early in the WNBA season.
It's the closest the Fever have been since early second quarter. Indiana's battle back within 3. Dangerous pass. It's Clark who's off to the races. And Caitlin Clark pulls the Fever back within 1. That 3-point shot a little bit more this year, but Indiana's defense has been really aggressive, forcing the turnover.
Fag Benlay right there makes that play, allows Clark to anticipate.
Futility from 3 for the Sparks, 0 for 9, and Caitlin Clark says, "You gonna give me the lane? I'm gonna take it." Head up, nobody stops her.
And Smith misses on the bank shot as the pace starts to pick up here from Indy. The hesitation, Clark gets to the rim.
And you force a Seattle timeout. And Clark recognizing a mismatch in transition. Good hesitation.
Clark with it. We got a tie ball game. Clark unties it. 2-point lead, and now the Fever are feeling it.
That's what 6'5" would do for you. I don't have that luxury. Nice give and go. Clark right at the cup, and she gets the bucket. After 1. It's LA 22.
Much better for Connecticut.
Caitlin Clark strong to the rack. And applause from the crowd here at Mohegan Sun. First bucket for Clark.
Christy Side's going to trust her second-year pro. 5 fouls, just under 8 minutes to play. Clark finds some space and hits a 3. Much of this
Watch
over
this.
last week.
She stays right behind Boston and changes her pace just to get enough space. Brilliantly done by Caitlin Clark.
From 3 and missed 5 of their 10 free throws.
Nice backdoor feed by Boston. You saw some eye contact between Boston and Clark before the ball came in bounds. It's just a great...
And we're going to expect a big night here for Cunningham. She does a good job stepping in when she needs to.
Clark, she's putting on a show here in the early going.
A bounce pass through the lane there, but of course, she finds a way to make it look pretty. And then,
I mean, the 3-point contest can't wait for this year after what Sabrina Ionescu did last year. And you got Team USA against Team All-Stars. Clark connects on her 3rd 3 of the game.
First turnover for either team. And Clark penetrating, opens up 3 for 3 with a quick 7 points.
Clark getting it done from 3, but also, how about taking it to the rim?
And the Fever now have to go the length of the floor, which is their biggest obstacle here without a lot of time. Inbound Wallace. Wallace gets it ahead to Clark. Clark will drive, get to the rim, lay it in. It's a 4-point game.
This is a well-executed play right here. Clark up the sideline. And the foot speed, has the foot speed advantage there.
Composure and be her balance so well around the basket.
There's Caitlin Clark. Wow, what a answer from her.
We need to get back to the inside-outside game where they're coming off of a loss against the Mystics. They want to clean some things up.
Caitlin Clark's first shot, she drives, penetrates.
Clark on the hesitation. Clark with the big shots.
Did you drive with 5 on the floor? Like I did back in the
standard. At least 2 of us know what's going on. Clark at the other end.
For the first time this season, the Fever tip off a game currently in a playoff spot. They moved up to 8th with that win over Chicago as Clark gets inside and has the first 2 points of the night.
I love the guard-to-guard action where
Asia Wilson and Kelsey Plum combining for 42 of Vegas's 61 points. Clark was able to drive and was away holding on to her eye.
Lainey Hamilton dribbles right into that. Can't get the 3-pointer. And the 8th rebound for Caitlin Clark. The runner falls off the glass, and Clark's first field goal since...
Washington's missed their first 5 shots of the fourth. Here is Clark turning on the Jets. Clark gets to the rim.
Yeah, I had an old coach back in high school call it organized chaos, meaning being able to play fast but under control.
And here's Clark, who lays it in on the other end. Celeste Taylor was signed about 6 hours ago. Big shot there by Sophie Cunningham. And then off of the make, look at Clark just running the floor, gets right to the rim.
Coast to coast.